Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel, Crafting with Holly. We are now at the last Friday of January. I cannot even believe it. Where did January go? Every Friday I pop in and share a piece of artwork featuring that month's stamp of the month, and it happens to be Looking Forward. It's such a great set for scrapbooking. You can also make cards with it too, and that's what I'm going to share with you in my card today. But don't forget, this catalog is live. It went live on January 1st. It's good through the end of February. And our VIPs, you'll earn the stamp of the month for free with your $50 purchase. And you can also get the thin cut version of this at a discount. So don't forget to add that to your cart. And those of you that are not a VIP, it's $5. But this is truly the last week to join as a VIP and get that additional $15 credit in your account. So if you haven't looked at the VIP program yet, I would encourage you to do so. There is a link in this video that you can go and learn more about the program. It just is a super amazing program for customers, and I've had so many people say how much they've enjoyed getting that 15% back and being able to spend it on any of their full price products. Anyway, take a look at the Let's Party Scrapbooking Workshop, the card workshop. These are the products that we're going to be using at our upcoming Palooza in February. You're going to love the pages that Tina has designed with the paper pack and the acrylic shapes. I think she also used some digital art in there. And then Dana did such a fabulous job reimagining this scrapbooking workshop. And you're gonna love the additions that I did to the cards. So check that out. Last week I shared with you how to make this slimline card. The week before that, I shared how to make this 2-page layout. And you're going to love this mix-in paper if you haven't already grabbed it. And then this was the 2-page layout that I shared at the beginning of the month. But today we are going to get started with this card. So I really love the card that is featured on page 30 in the catalog for January through February. Have you ever looked at a pattern and just said, oh my goodness, I need to recreate that? So I looked in all of our how-to books and there was no pattern to be found. So I really came up with my own through trial and error. And it's just taking some squares and cutting them in half and turning them into rectangles. So all of the instructions are found in the guide, which you'll receive from me when you make a purchase and qualify for the stamp of the month this month. So I'm just taking these squares, these triangles now, from the mix-in paper, and I'm attaching them to the card base. And I accidentally take these two pieces and butt them right up against the top and the bottom of the card front, and I actually need to have about 1/4 of an inch showing. So after I get these put on, I notice that they're wrong because when I put the other two triangles on, they don't line up. So I have to do some repairing, so to speak. But you know what? That's the great thing about you guys watching me do these videos is you get to see my mistakes and learn from them and learn what not to do. So now I'm carefully taking these off. And that's one of the things that I love about Close to My Heart adhesive is that you've got a little bit of grace, so to speak, before it stays stuck to lift and move your paper as needed. So thank goodness I used the Close to My Heart adhesive to put these triangles down because I was able to lift them up without tearing the card base. So now I'm using my Versamat to make sure that I've got about 1/4 of an inch, maybe it's more like 1/8 of an inch border, and I'm sticking the larger triangles on now, and they're going to overlap, and that's okay because the sentiment is going to cover that up when we get that put on. So I'm just kind of moving things and finagling them a little bit so that they line up really good. That's the one thing about paper crafting is I am not perfect when it comes to paper crafting. I make a ton of mistakes, but the good thing is I have some phenomenal products from Close to My Heart that help me make them look like I know what I'm doing, if you know what I mean. So now we've got those triangles on, and I'm getting them still lined up and tucked in the way I want them to so that they look lined up and those lines are nice and smooth. That looks a lot better. And now we're ready to go ahead and start putting the other pieces on. So I'm going to take the sentiment that I stamped on White Daisy cardstock in intense black ink, or it's probably archival black ink, and I'm putting that right there in the middle. And then I'm going to go ahead and take the two pieces of Periwinkle glitter paper and put them together and get the adhesive on the back of them. I like to take those narrow strips and put them together when I'm getting adhesive on them. It makes it a lot easier. And then I'm just gently separating them and then putting them right up against that White Daisy sentiment at the top and the bottom. And there is a little bit of a border, so it's not going to be flush up against the edge. So just make sure that those pieces are still have a little bit of a border. And now I'm going to take the scallop circle from the thin cut from the Stamp of the Month, and we're going to tuck that in. And I forgot to put that in first, so I'm going to have to lift up that glitter paper a little bit and tuck that down underneath the white, just like that. But I thought that scallop circle made a really fun die cut, and I cut it in half and put part of the sentiment on it, and then took the other half of it, and we're just going to offset it down underneath at the bottom right. And again, I have to lift up that glitter paper a little bit without tearing the paper underneath. So I'm being real careful not to tear it. And we're going to tuck that in as well. Super simple card, as you can see. And I love this pattern, so I hope that you enjoy being able to recreate this on your own. I always love looking at something, coming up with a challenge, and then recreating it for others to enjoy. And then all we need to do is just attach some of these black stars on here, and that's it. We've made our final project with the Stamp of the Month. And thank you so much for joining me this month and coming in here every Friday to learn how to use the Stamp of the Month. I really enjoy creating these projects and sharing them with you. Oh, and these happen to be hearts this time, not the stars. I just noticed that. So anyway, I appreciate it if you would like and subscribe to my channel. Every time I come up with a new video, you'll get a notification for that. And if you have other friends that love paper crafting, I would love it if you would share my channel with them and have them follow me as well. So that's all there is to it this time. That rounds up January in kind of a nutshell. And I will be back next week, next Friday, with the February Stamp of the Month project. So thanks so much for joining me, everyone.